Ladies, let me tell you something right now, and I want you to listen real good because this is important. You ever been sitting there thinking a man is gone, thinking he's never coming back, and you feel that little pit in your stomach like your heart just got thrown out the window? Yeah, I know that feeling. And let me tell you, it's not always what you think. Sometimes that feeling, that void, that longing, that's the universe telling you something powerful is about to happen. And if you start noticing certain signs, you're going to realize he's coming back sooner than you think. I'm serious about this. Men are like boomerangs. They go away. They drift. They test themselves. But if the connection is real, if the bond is genuine, they come back. And if you pay attention, you'll see it. First thing you want to notice is how he starts creeping back into your thoughts. You ever catch yourself remembering something he said months ago, something small and silly, like the way he laughed at your joke or that little thing he did that made you feel special. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you start smiling, you start daydreaming about moments that used to make your heart skip a beat. That's the first sign. That's your heart recognizing him before your mind even does. And guess what? Men do the same thing. They don't just leave and erase everything. Oh no, they carry those memories with them, tucked away until they're ready to come back and face what they almost lost. And when he starts appearing in your thoughts in little ways, subtle ways, that's the first whisper of him coming back into your life. Then you start noticing the little check-ins. I'm talking about those random messages, those unexpected likes on your post, those texts that seem casual but really aren't. Maybe he says, "Hey, how you doing?" Or maybe he comments on something you didn't even notice. Don't brush that off. That's him testing the waters. That's him feeling out the situation without jumping in head first. Men do that. They step softly. They watch, they analyze, because they don't want to make the same mistakes twice. And if you start noticing these subtle touches, this re-entry into your life in small doses, that's the sign you've been waiting for. That's him circling back. That's him trying to find out if you're still available emotionally, if the door is open, if he has a shot to come back the right way this time. Now, here's where it gets real. You start seeing changes in him. And I don't mean superficial stuff. I'm talking about real, deep changes. Suddenly, he's more thoughtful, more reflective. He's taking care of himself in ways he didn't before. Maybe he's more patient. Maybe he's more careful with what he said. Maybe he's showing growth you didn't see the first time around. That right there is him realizing what he almost lost. Men leave, yes, but they don't leave without learning. And if he's coming back, he's working on being better, not just for you, but for himself, so that he can be the man who deserves to step back into your life. And you'll feel it. You'll notice the difference is energy, the way he approaches things, the way he engages with you without even trying too hard. That's the sign of a man who's serious about coming back. You also want to pay attention to the timing. Life has a way of aligning itself when it's supposed to. And when this starts happening, when the memories hit, when those subtle check-ins start showing up, when you feel that shift in him, you might also notice a shift in yourself. Suddenly, you're more confident, more secure, more at peace with what you had and what you might get back. You start realizing that your energy matters just as much as his. Men respond to energy. They come back to what feels right. They don't come back to fear. They don't come back to desperation. They come back to love, respect, and the feeling that this connection is solid, real, and worth their effort. And if you start feeling that inner shift, that's the universe giving you the green light, because he's coming back when you're ready for him in the right way. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about chasing him, begging him, or trying to manipulate him. No, ma'am, this is about paying attention, understanding the signs, and knowing your worth. Because when he comes back, you need to be ready, not desperate, not needy, but ready to step into a connection that's stronger than before. And let me tell you something, the moment you start seeing the memories hit, the subtle touches, the changes in him, and you feel that shift in yourself, that's when the magic happens. That's when he's coming back. And it doesn't matter how long it took. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. Because when a man comes back, he comes with intention, with clarity, and with the understanding that he's not going to let this opportunity slip through his fingers again. And I'm not talking about just any man. I'm talking about the one who knows he belongs with you, the one who can't get you out of his head, the one who feels your absence even when you're standing right in front of him. Men like that, they don't walk away lightly. And if he's starting to show the signs, you better pay attention, because that's him letting you know he's on his way back. It might not happen overnight. It might take days, weeks, maybe even months. But if these things are happening, if this starts showing up in your life, that's the trajectory. That's the roadmap. And the truth is, the universe has a funny way of giving people second chances when they're ready and when you are aligned with your worth. He's going to return like a boomerang, but this time with the intention to stay. So watch for the memories that make you smile, the small check-ins that show he's thinking of you, the subtle changes that prove he's growing, and the shift in your own heart that shows you're ready. Because if this starts happening, if these little signs start showing up in your life, it's not a coincidence. It's not luck. It's him coming back sooner than you think, ready to make things right, ready to step into the love and connection that's always been waiting. And when that happens, you're going to see the difference between someone who just drifts and someone who comes back for good, someone who's learned, someone who's changed, and someone who's serious about what you both mean to each other. Pay attention, listen to your heart, trust the signs, and don't settle for less than you deserve. When he starts appearing in these ways, don't panic, don't chase, don't beg, just prepare yourself, because he's coming back, and he's coming back for real this time. Now listen, I need you to sit down and pay attention, because this is the kind of thing women don't always catch when they're caught up in emotions. Men, they're tricky, but not as tricky as you think. They're actually predictable if you know the signs. And one of the most powerful things I've learned over the years is that when a man is meant to come back into your life, he's going to show you before he even steps through the door. It doesn't happen by accident. It's subtle. But if you're awake and aware, you'll notice it. And I'm telling you right now, if this starts happening in your life, get ready, he's coming back sooner than you think. First thing you want to notice is the way he pops back into your world. Not physically, maybe not even verbally at first, but mentally. You start remembering moments you thought were long gone. You find yourself thinking about his laugh, the way he looked at you when you weren't expecting it, the silly fights that turned into something funny later on. And suddenly, without even realizing it, you're smiling out of nowhere. Maybe you even catch yourself telling a friend, I can't stop thinking about him. That's not just your imagination. That's the universe giving you a signal. Men don't just leave and forget you completely. They carry pieces of you with them. Little reminders of the connection that was real, the moments that mattered. And when those memories start creeping back into your daily life, pay attention. That's the first sign he's circling back. Next, notice the small, almost accidental ways he tries to reconnect. I'm talking about those little texts, those casual comments on social media, those just checking in moments that seem harmless but aren't. It's subtle, but it's deliberate. Men do this because they're testing the waters. They want to see if you're still approachable, if the energy is still right, if there's a possibility to step back in without making the same mistakes they made before. If you start noticing these things, it's a green flag. That's him reaching out without overcommitting. That's him gauging the situation and feeling out whether it's safe to come back into your life. And I want you to understand something. He's not doing that with everyone. He's doing it because you matter, because what you had together wasn't just a fling. It was real, and he knows it. Then there's the energy shift. You know what I'm talking about. That subtle change in how he carries himself. The way he's more thoughtful, more intentional. Maybe he's taking better care of himself. Maybe he's more mindful with his words. Maybe he's showing up differently in ways that make you notice. That's not by accident. That's him learning, growing, realizing the value of what he almost lost. And women, I need you to see this clearly. Men don't come back to people they don't respect. They come back to people they admire, people they recognize as essential to their lives. And when he's showing you that change, that's him preparing himself to step back into your life in a way that honors both of you. It's not just a return, it's a re-entry with intention. Another thing to watch for is how your heart responds. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. Sometimes the universe sends signals not just through him, but through you. You might notice yourself feeling more open, more confident, more at ease with the idea of reconnecting. You stop holding on to fear. You stop thinking about the what ifs, and you start focusing on the possibilities. That shift in your own energy is magnetic. Men are drawn to women who are secure, women who recognize their worth, women who know they're not settling for less than they deserve. If you feel this shift, it's not coincidence, it's alignment. He's coming back when you're ready for him in the right way. And let me tell you, when a man comes back, he doesn't come half-heartedly. He comes fully because he knows he can't afford to miss this opportunity twice. And let's talk about timing. Timing is everything in love and life. Men sometimes leave, but it's not always permanent. Sometimes they leave to figure themselves out, to grow, to become better for the connection they left behind. And when the timing is right, when the lessons are learned, when both hearts are ready, he comes back. You'll see it in the little things, the calls, the texts, the way he remembers details he used to overlook, the way he starts showing up emotionally. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's deliberate and consistent. That's the hallmark of someone coming back for real. It's not about chasing him. It's about observing, understanding, and letting life unfold. And I need you to understand this because it's critical. Men return when they feel a void they can't fill with anyone else. They come back when they realize the grass isn't greener, when they recognize the bond they let slip away, and when he starts showing these signs, the memories hitting you, the little check-ins, the energy shifts, the alignment of your own heart. That's him coming back. That's him understanding the value of what you both shared and deciding that he's not letting it go a second time. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about weakness. It's not about giving him another chance blindly. It's about recognizing the signs, paying attention, and knowing that timing, energy, and growth are essential for both of you. And if you start seeing this happen, if this starts showing up in your life, it's not a coincidence. It's him coming back. And it's the kind of return that can be powerful if handled with wisdom. So watch the memories that hit unexpectedly, the casual messages that carry intention, the changes in his energy, and the shift in your own heart. That's the roadmap. That's how you'll know that he's coming back. It might not be overnight, but when it happens, it's deliberate, it's purposeful, and it's real. And when he comes back like this, you'll know it because everything feels different. Not because he's changed overnight, but because both of you are ready to step into a connection that's deeper, wiser, and more aligned than ever before. And here's the last thing I want you to get. He's coming back, but only if the conditions are right. He's coming back when he's ready to honor the bond, when he's ready to respect the connection, and when he's ready to show you the man he should have been all along. And when that happens, pay attention, because this is the real thing. This is the man who knows you, who values you, and who's returning because he can't ignore what's meant to be. Now, let me break this down for you, because too many women miss these signs, and then they wonder why he's gone or whether he's ever coming back. Men, they don't always show up like women expect them to. They don't announce their feelings. They don't always say the words you're waiting to hear. But they show up in ways you might not even notice at first. And the truth is, if this starts happening in your life, pay attention, because he's coming back. And he's coming back for real this time. You see, men are creatures of habit, but they're also creatures of reflection. When they leave, they go through a process. They think, they analyze, they feel. And when they realize what they lost, they start circling back. And if you notice the signs, you all know before he even says a word. First, notice how often he appears in your life in ways that aren't obvious. Maybe you see him in a dream. Maybe a song comes on that reminds you of him. Maybe you catch yourself laughing at something you both used to joke about. And then suddenly memories start hitting you out of nowhere, moments you thought were gone, moments that made you feel alive, moments that made your heart race. Dawn, Ignore that. That as the first hint that he's thinking about you, that he is reflecting on the connection, and that he's starting to feel the pull back toward what matters. Men don't just forget these things. They don't just move on without thought. When a man is coming back, he remembers the good, the bad, the silly, the moments that made him feel alive with you. And when these memories start to hit, you better pay attention. That is your first sign. Then there is the little ways he starts to reach out without saying it outright. Maybe he drops a casual text that seems like nothing. Maybe he reacts to a story or a post. Maybe he comments on something with just the right words that make you stop and think. Those aren't coincidences. Men do this to test the waters. They want to see if you were still emotionally available, if your heart is still open, if there a chance to come back in without being rejected. And you better believe this isn't random. He's doing it with intention, even if he does fully realize it himself. That is him starting to make moves before he ready to fully step back in. And if this starts happening, that's a major signal he's coming back, and he coming back slowly, carefully, making sure he does it right this time. Next, watch for the changes in his behavior. I don't mean the surface level stuff. I'm talking about subtle but noticeable shifts. Maybe he's more patient when he talks. Maybe he's more considerate. Maybe he's showing signs of growth and maturity that he didn't have before. That's him working on himself, not because you told him to, not because he's trying to impress anyone else, but because he knows that if he wants to come back into your life, he has to be the man you deserve. Men learn from their mistakes, and the ones worth coming back are the ones who are trying to grow into better versions of themselves. And when you see these changes, when you feel the shift in his energy, that's when you know he's serious. That's when you know he's not just drifting back. He's coming with purpose, with intention, with the desire to do it right this time. And don't forget the energy you bring into this. This is where most people get it wrong. It's not just about what he's doing. It's about how you're feeling. When he's coming back, you'll notice a change inside yourself too. Suddenly, you're more confident, more grounded, more at peace with the idea of reconnecting. You're not desperate. You're not panicked. You're just open. And that openness is magnetic. Men come back to energy, not just words. They respond to presence, to confidence, to the feeling that they're stepping into something real and meaningful. And if you feel that shift in yourself, that's another signal he's coming back. And it's going to be on a whole new level. Timing is also key. Life has a way of teaching us lessons in its own order. Men leave sometimes not because they don't care, but because they need to figure themselves out. They need to grow, to learn, to understand the value of what they almost lost. And when the timing is right, when they've done that work, when they've reflected, when they're ready to show up fully, they come back. You'll notice it in small things first, the messages, the attention to details, the way he remembers what matters to you. And then it grows. The energy builds. The connection strengthens. And if you pay attention, you'll see it happening right in front of you. And here's the thing. Women need to hear this. This is tea about weakness. It is tea about chasing. It is tea about begging. This is about awareness. This is about recognizing the signals and knowing that the universe has a way of giving second chances when both hearts are ready. If he starts showing these signs, the memories, the small gestures, the changes, the alignment with your own energy, he coming back. And when he does, he's not coming back halfway. He is coming back ready to be present, ready to be intentional, ready to honor the connection he once took for granted. The last thing you need to understand is that this is about respect and intention. He is coming back not because you begged him to, not because you chased him, not because you held on desperately. He is coming back because he realized the value of what he had with you, because he's done the work, because he's ready to show up differently. And when that happens, you'll see it. You'll feel it. The difference will be clear not just in his words, but in his actions, his energy, and the way he approaches you this time. And if this starts happening in your life, don't panic, don't overthink, Just pay attention. Notice the signs. Recognize the patterns. And prepare yourself, because he coming back, and he is coming back with clarity, purpose, and the intention to do it right this time. Now listen, I want you to really pay attention, because this is something too many women miss. And then they sit around wondering why he's gone and whether he's ever coming back. Men, they're simple in some ways, complicated in others. But if you know what to look for, you'll see it coming. And I am telling you right now, if certain things start happening in your life, that man is coming back. You better be ready for it. Because when a man comes back, he comes with a whole new understanding of what he almost lost. The first thing you notice is how often he shows up in unexpected ways. Maybe it as a random message you didn't expect. Maybe it as a comment on a post. Maybe it's just a subtle way he's in your orbit again. These little moments aren't by accident. That's him testing the water. Men don't just reappear without purpose. They want to see if you're still there, if your energy has shifted, if you're still the woman who made him feel something real. And when you notice that, pay attention, because that's him circling back. That's the first signal that he's not done thinking about you, that he's not done valuing what you two had, and that he's trying to figure out how to come back in a way that makes sense this time. Next, watch how he starts appearing in your thoughts without you even realizing it. You find yourself thinking about little things he said, the way he made you laugh, the way he looked at you when no one was watching. And suddenly, memories start hitting out of nowhere, and you catch yourself smiling, reminiscing, maybe even missing him in ways that surprise you. Don't ignore that. That's not just nostalgia, that's a signal. Men carry memories too. They don't just leave and forget. And when your memories and your feelings start aligning with subtle reminders of him, that's a powerful sign that he's coming back, because he's remembering you just as much as you're remembering him. Then there's the change in his energy. You know what I'm talking about. Suddenly, he's different in ways you can't quite put your finger on at first. Maybe he's more thoughtful. Maybe he's more considerate. Maybe he's showing up in ways that are more intentional than before. That's not coincidence. That's growth. That's reflection. Men don't come back to situations or relationships lightly. If he's changing, it's because he realizes the value of what he almost lost. And when you notice that change, don't brush it off. That's him preparing himself to step back into your life in a way that honors the connection, the love, and the bond that you shared before. Another thing to watch for is how your own heart begins to shift. Sometimes the signs aren't just external, they're internal. You may notice that you're calmer, more confident, more open to the possibility of reconnecting. You're not desperate, you're not panicked, you're just at peace with yourself. And that, my friend, is magnetic. Men respond to energy, not just words. They come back to the presence, to the confidence, to the woman who knows her worth and doesn't settle for anything less than she deserves. And if you feel that interchange, that's the universe aligning, because he's coming back when you're ready for him in the right way. Timing plays a huge role in this too. Sometimes men leave because they need space to grow, to understand what they lost, or to figure themselves out. And when the timing is right, when he's learned, reflected, and ready to show up differently, he comes back. You'll notice the little things, first the text.